Tony, give me the name of any YouTube comic book community member.
Oh, geez. Any?
Yeah, any. Well,
Uh,
preferably one that can take a joke.
oh, gosh. There's so many. Man, I'm gonna give you some low hanging fruit here. I'm gonna say Tim the Comic Collector.
Tim the comic collector walks into a psychiatrist's office and says, I believe I can see into the future. The shrink said, when did this start? And Tim said, next Tuesday. Welcome to the greatest DC comic show on YouTube. You found another edition of Fanboys Live the Retro Review, and it's fantastic having you on board today. I am Ryan, aka Magic Lasso, who has consumed gas station nachos again today and has lived to make another show. On behalf of Tim the Comic Collector and Comic Food 2814, we welcome you to the show, and also my special guest over here, Signature King Tony Fett. How's it going?
Going great.
Awesome. How was your week? What did you do? What's new?
Nothing really exciting. Did hit the shop this week, so
Nice. Get any good purchases?
I did.
Good pickups. Good.
Some great pickups. My LCS has been killing it with the 1 in 25 Night Terrors.
Oh, nice.
Which is great. I really enjoyed picking up the 1 in 25s, and in my opinion, the Night Terror 1 in 25s have been worth the extra couple of bucks, just because the art is fantastic, and two, usually the cover artist on the 1 in 25s is someone I usually end up meeting at Baltimore anyway, so it just goes into the box and it's ready to go. So
I was going to ask you if you either read or bought the Night Terrors Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Okay, I thought I was going to recommend that to you because I know that you like Justice League Dark, and it's a very Justice League Dark story.
Oh yeah, that's the one that I also got the 1 in 25 for.
Oh, nice. I have that too.
It's like the younger version, her current version, and her older version of herself. Yeah, that's great.
Very cool. Yeah. Let's say hello to some folks that have already decided to join us this Sunday evening, starting with Warlord. How you doing, James? Hope you're doing well. Congratulations. I know you got a book that you recently wanted to. I saw that on Instagram, and that's awesome. Let's say hello to Christy. It's great to have you hanging out. Has Christy ever been to your LCS?
Yeah, many times.
Okay. So she's familiar.
She knows exactly where it is.
Okay, awesome. That's where you get the gift certificates, Christy.
Yes.
The gift certificate makes a good gift.
Yes, makes a great gift.
Get me one too. And John's Comics with Kids is joining us too. So we appreciate all of you being here from the very get-go for tonight's show, which is going to be awesome.
Yes. That time of day again.
Yeah.
News. So you ready for a game of tennis?
I think I know where you're going with this already, but yeah, we can do it because I already, if it's what I think you're gonna say, I already know.
Does it involve Wonder Woman?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So.
Okay, then I'm gonna say it before you.
Go for it. No. Please do.
This is my response. I think Gal Gadot is now the new Henry Cavill rumor. She's Wonder Woman. They're not making the movie. Yes, they are making the movie. No, they're not. I think that she's the new Henry Cavill rumor.
Well, what she tweeted, made sense.
Mm-hmm.
James Gunn never said no, that she wasn't moving forward. The only people that have been officially removed are Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck. That's it. Those are the only ones that have been officially removed. So, I mean, it could possibly be.
For those that don't know, they're essentially saying that Wonder Woman 3, which last week we were talking about, is happening, is not a done deal.
But Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot did tweet that she met with James Gunn and Peter Safran about Wonder Woman 3, and she came out of the meeting feeling like it was going to happen.
And then another story, I think it was Hollywood Reporter, went on to say an insider, of course they don't name any insiders ever, an insider said that didn't happen.
But why, if that's true, let's say it didn't happen.
Okay.
Why would Gal Gadot say that though?
Exactly. I mean, somebody's wrong somewhere.
Yeah, either someone is just straight up BS in the planet,
Mm-hmm.
or Wonder Woman Gal Gadot just kind of jumped the gun a little bit, and they weren't ready to make that announcement.
Unless she thinks that they're not going to do it, and by saying it, she feels that she can make them do that. Which,
I
trust me,
think
you could never make the studio do something unless you're Ryan Reynolds.
I think didn't Henry Cavill do the same thing? You know, he announced that he was being removed from Superman, but
Mm-hmm.
WB like the next day was like, that's not really true. You know, he forced their hand, so to speak, but maybe
Well, we
Gal's
saw how
trying to do
that
the
turned
same
out for
thing.
him.
Well, they told him he was coming back as Superman, and the next
Yeah,
week,
but did he know?
Just kidding.
Yeah, just kidding. Just fooling you.
I'm still mad about that. I'll probably
Yeah.
never get over it. I'll never see Shazam and Black Adam fight on the movies. Never. They had it. They had the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Bummer.
So we got a DC movie coming out in the next few days. We have Blue Beetle. And I was looking over some tweets that have come out from people that have had advanced screenings. And at least the tweets that were shared were some pretty positive messages, actually.
Yes. But here's the part where I don't understand. I'm looking at the numbers now, and that was what I was going to talk to anyway. This is perfect. They understand that it's probably not going to be a big pull, like, because it's not a big name. People probably don't know who this character is. So, you know, it's not like a Batman or a Superman movie. So it's projected to bring in terms of opening weekend, about half of what they wanted the Flash to bring. But even then, some people, and I agree with them, are like, there's zero chance that this is going to happen. Zero. Because, one, the movie wasn't really marketed at all. And two, James Gunn has been kind of wishy-washy. Like, if this is the start of his universe, he said yes and no before. So, like, do I need to watch this movie? You know?
So
And
this is how I take that, okay? If the movie's a huge success, then yes, it's the start of his universe. If the movie's a huge failure, nope, I had nothing to do with it. That's how I take that comment.
Well, he did. That makes sense too. But he said that I can recall, yes, this movie is in my universe. And then he said the movie's not in the universe, but Blue Beetle, the character, and that particular actor are. Mm-hmm. They'll show up again down the line. It's like, well, what? So the characters, the only character in this movie that matters is Blue Beetle. The rest you're saying are completely irrelevant going forward.
Here's a couple random tweets that I saw from people that have seen the movie, okay? Happy to report Blue Beetle was much better than I expected. He's added his own flavor to the superhero genre by having the film focus on the tight-knit family and Latino culture. It's fun, extremely funny, and he got away with a few jokes that floored me. Happy to finally share Blue Beetle is everything I hoped it would be. The movie was filmed with the heart of the Latin culture and focused on the importance of family and believing in yourself against all odds. It's the best film to come out of the DCU since Wonder Woman. Blue Beetle is one of the best movies of DC's modern era, right up there with the first Wonder Woman movie. Fun, emotional, culturally significant, extremely funny. I was blown away. Jamie Reyes absolutely deserves to be a part of the new DCU. So there's a couple.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the tweets now, and they're all, you know, echoing a version of what you're saying. They're all saying it's, you know, a good movie. You know, praising the you know, the Latin kind of touch to it, which is, you know, that's great. But it bothers me when DC puts these, you know, big office budget, you know, expectations on it, because now, you know, me, a numbers guy, I'm going to be watching the numbers all weekend. And then I think the movie's going to be great. I'm very excited to see it. I'm going to see it Friday. I just don't think this is going to do as well as they hope it's going to do, because it's a character that if you don't read comics, you've probably never even heard of this character.
Even though the character's been around for decades.
Character's been around a super long time.
Even though different people have played the character.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just a character that I feel like should have been introduced somewhere first.
Sure.
To make it really successful. But hey, we'll have to go and see what they they got. So hopefully I'm wrong and it just blows expectations out of the water. But I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't.
Hello to Paul S. I'll see if I can get on that for you before the show ends today. Good to have you stopping by.
What do you think? Do you think it is or is not going to make it's what is it down here?
How much do they want?
$46 million opening weekend. Opening weekend.
No, I'm going to put this. This is where I'm going to put my number at for that. Okay. 26 to 29.
That's fair because I was thinking 30. So we're pretty close. Yeah, I think that's fair. I'd say 25 to 30.
You got to remember too, with the exception of the Barbie movie and Oppenheimer, most movies have not performed the way that they used to perform at the theaters pre-COVID.
Yeah, maybe that's something the movie industries haven't quite figured out yet, or what. But it sucks when they never used to put expectations like if you don't hit this number by opening weekend, like forget it. You know what I mean? Like you're not coming back for a sequel or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. We'll see.
I'm sure we'll have much more to talk about on that topic next week.
Yes,
which I'm going to go ahead and say is going to be a Blue Beetle themed retro review as well. Imagine that.
On opening weekend.
For better or for worse. We could have incredible numbers next week. We could have horrendous numbers next week.
Barbie Tale and Teenagers, we loved it. I've heard
really good things about it, actually.
I've heard good things about it. I've heard horrible things about it, but I mean, people say negative things about all kinds of movies.
Yeah, but you got a beef against Margot Robbie anyway.
I love Margot Robbie. No. Don't get that confused.
Do I have to show that clip where you're going?
I love Margot Robbie. I love Margot Robbie's Suicide Squad, Harley iteration. I don't like Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey.
No, I didn't like that at all.
That movie was awful.
That was horrible.
Yeah, what they did to the Huntress and Black Canary was criminal.
Did you know that my Wonder Woman is joining Birds of Prey? Not in the theatrical sense, but in the comic book sense. I don't exactly understand that, except for maybe the eagle, but she doesn't wear the eagle as her emblem anymore. But there's a new Birds of Prey series coming, and Wonder Woman is going to be one of the regulars.
I never understood characters like Blue Beetle, Firestorm, and Stargirl. Like, how come they were never part of any of the Titans? Or the Teen Titans, because they're all in high school still. So they should be part of the Teen Titans.
Yeah.
But they're always kind of solo for some reason.
Which mustn't. Well, Firestorm does live on the East Coast, so there's really no excuse for him. Stargirl lives in the Midwest.
Yeah. Blue Beetle lives on the West Coast.
Yeah. So those two kind of have an excuse.
Don't believe the woke man hating. Oh yeah, I wasn't aware that was part of the. No. I woke man hating reviews. I wasn't aware that was the problem with it. I don't know. I just heard the story was confusing. I mean, I didn't know it was blame the white man.
I heard that Ken has good Kenergy.
Kenergy. Oh wow.
Energy.
Very cool. But otherwise, for news-wise, it's pretty slow. I guess, what do we got? 15 minutes into it? I can grab some of my pickups here.
Okay. While you're doing that, I want to say hi and a special shout out, even though they're not here, and I understand why they're not here right now, because it's their birthday. Steve Whiting's birthday is today, and we certainly love Steve Whiting. And happy birthday, Steve, and I hope that you've had an amazing day because you're an amazing person. And now, here is Signature King Tony Fett to sing happy birthday to you.
I was unaware that I was singing happy birthday.
Just kidding.
Let's get one of those like really annoying restaurants with them, like coming out all clapping and
the
stuff.
clapping one, yeah.
Yeah.
Hello to the comic book G-Man. How you doing?
I've always wanted to go into those restaurants, like, and then like excuse myself, pretend I'm going to the bathroom, and like tell them like, "Oh, that's my wife over there. It's her birthday," even though it's not. Go sing happy birthday.
I told my friends one year. I said, "Don't do that to me." Don't, because we were going out for my birthday. I said, "Don't do that to me," and of course they did it to me. And they lean down before they start. And when you see them all headed right towards you, you know what's about to happen. And one of them leans down and goes, "What's your name?" And I was with my friend, whose name actually is Steve as well. I said, "My name is Steve." So they said, "Happy birthday, dear Steve." And I'm just glaring at him.
We took my kids to a Texas Roadhouse, and they love all the clapping and the dancing and all
and
that
the peanuts
stuff.
on the floor.
Oh, mine doesn't do that anymore.
Oh, they don't do the peanut shells on the floor?
They used to pre-COVID, but I guess that was a COVID thing. They stopped doing it. I don't know.
I think ours still does here in town. I'm pretty sure they do.
I always thought, like, what if you didn't see the sign of the door and you had a peanut allergy?
Yeah. That's not a good place to go if you have a
just
peanut
walk
allergy.
in and just go into anaphylactic shock.
Yeah.
But pickup wise, it was a pretty good weekend, or not weekend, but week. I would say the coolest one. It's too buried right now. It's in the box going to Baltimore, but I'd say the coolest one, in my opinion, was the Titans #1, 1/25 by Tony Harris. But I did pick up. Oh, was that okay? My second best, in my opinion, is Wonder Woman, 1/25.
That's awesome.
And this one is, who did this one? Enoch Lee. Okay. The Flash.
I like that too.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Black Adam, #2. Joker, #2. The only one I picked up not Night Terrors related, Justice Society of America, #5. Shazam, #2, Night Terrors. Green Lantern, #2. And last but not least, Batman, #2.
Nice.
Yes. How have you been liking Night Terrors so far?
So I haven't read a whole lot of it, to be honest with you. I mean, I started with the free comic book day preview, which I really enjoyed. And the Wonder Woman story, I couldn't get into.
Yeah, that's understandable. But luckily, it's a short story. It's a really short story.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 2 issues. Gosh, I don't even know who the Wonder Woman writer was. Campbell.
Okay.
But yeah, I think, I don't know. I really wish they would have let Cloonan and Conrad write Night Terrors.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
I think they would have done a little bit better job, but but it's too late.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. And,
although I'm happy to say that Michael Conrad did say that he and DC have not ended their relationship, and there will be a future announcement. So,
I'm sure they're coming back somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
They did really well on Wonder Woman, and people genuinely like what those two work on. So yeah, it makes sense. But my only beef with Night Terrors is a lot of stories and characters got way too many variants.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of been a problem in everybody's side for, since the age of the variant.
Yeah.
But there's some ridiculous variants, like the Joker 2, 1/75, that went for about $75. And what is it even? It was just what is it? It was a black and white version of the current one, which is this one. That's all it was. It's just black and white version of that.
See, to me, that's. I'm not big on the variant covers that are reusing art already, especially the higher ratio ones. I think you should give someone a
most of them
brand
are
new
just
image.
Yeah, most of them are just black and white, or what do they call that? The sketch variant or cover that's already out. So it's like, why?
Mm-hmm. So something else that I want to talk about before we get into the retro
absolutely.
review, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the Comic Book Community Awards. So
yes,
earlier this week, they did the list of everyone that was suggested, so to speak. So what they're doing now, they're in the review process. And hey, Sean, how you doing there? Good to see you stopping by. Oh, I Collect a Lot is here as well, too. Good to see you, my friend. So Comic Book Community Awards, anyone that nominated something, they put the list together. And right now they're in the process of reviewing and narrowing it down to who will be the finalists. And Fanboys Live and the Retro Review did receive a nomination. So I received a nomination. My comic book edition series received a nomination. Tony, you received a nomination, right?
I did for I don't know why. I don't know who or what category I was nominated for. The best YouTube channel for uploading a video and then losing 5 subscribers almost immediately award.
Okay. Tim got nominated.
Yeah.
Tim's channel got nominated. Tim,
I think everybody, all the fanboys are nominated for something.
Which is awesome. And I just want to take a moment just to, regardless, because we might not end up being a finalist, but for someone wanted to take their choice and put our names down for this show or our channels down for something, that means something to me. So I just wanted to say thank you and
absolutely
acknowledge that.
Yeah, I saw the list too, and I looked at it. I said the same thing too. Like, who nominated me? All I do is lose subscribers.
Yeah.
But
there was no best glittering category.
Yeah, thank God I would have won, and I don't know if I want to win that award.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was. This is it's a weird year. First year that I've ever been nominated for anything. And it's the first year that all of the fanboys were nominated, including this show.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was nice to see.
It was.
I'm not gonna lie, but I wish everybody good luck because so many people put out great content in the community, and a lot of our friends are nominated. A lot of our friends are in the chat right now, and there's people that we might end up being new friends with too.
Yeah.
So real quick too, Sean asked a couple questions. We saw the Flash movie. I did not see Transformers. I don't know about you, Tony. Did you see that?
To be honest with you, I don't think I've ever seen any Transformers movie.
I actually haven't either, even though I hear there's more than meets the eye. Do you have the Flashpoint graphic novel? I do. I ended up getting mine free from a company called The Comic Mint that just offered free ones. You just had to pay for shipping. So, and we did back in, in May, I think we did the Flashpoint as a retro review. So if you want to look in the archives or do a search for YouTube for Flashpoint as the retro review, you'll probably be able to find that. It might have been on, I think it was on Comic Foo's channel, Comic Foo 2814.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So as we segue into, is there anything else you want to say before we segue into the retro review?
No, just again, echoing, and I think I speak for Tim and Comic Foo. Thank you to whoever or the group of people who took the time to nominate us for whatever category it was, whether realistic we could win or not, but it's just,
it's nice to be thought of. And
it's humbling just to even be, at least considered for something because
absolutely.
I'm the type of guy who gets a brand new car and the check engine light comes on like as soon as you pull out of the dealership. Mm-hmm. So it's nice to finally win one.
And I'm the type of guy that would say to you, get away from me, you're bad luck.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. At least that's how it's been in my house lately. Something has been a problem. We have fixed the problem and 2 more have popped up over here. Like my drive belt broke in my lawnmower. and then we got a little bit of rain, and then just gobs of sun. So it turned my yard into a jungle almost overnight. But I finally got that back. But okay.
Yeah. So tonight we're going to do a series. DC right now is doing the Night Terrors themed. And we're going to go back to 2014, I think it was, when they did another themed event called Future's End. So, Tony, this was your pick tonight. Why did you pick this?
Gosh. I picked Future's End, the one-shots. One, because they're pretty awesome. I mean, look at that. That's pretty cool. I really enjoyed... DC really hyped these up.
Mm-hmm.
These 3D covers is what essentially they came down to. And I got all of them. I thought it was really cool way back in 2014. But I feel like they didn't get enough attention, to be honest with you.
I can see. So these supposedly take place about 5 years in the future from where DC stories were at that moment.
Yeah, so that is past now.
Yes, it's come and gone.
It's come and gone. Yep. But
so I'll kick us off with the first one tonight. And were you surprised, Tony, at my choice?
No. Yes, okay. Yes and no. Yes and no.
Because there was a Future's End Wonder Woman, and there was a Future's End Superman and Wonder Woman.
Yes. Obviously, if I was a betting man, I would have
gone on one
bet
of those,
on the with the Wonder Woman. But this version of Batwoman in the New 52 was pretty cool. So
I guess I have a question because I'm not, before we start, in this story, she's a vampire.
Yes.
Was she a vampire in the books beforehand, or was this something that happened in the 5-year period? Because they really don't touch on that in the story.
Yeah. In New 52, she became a vampire. I don't recall what issue, but
she did. Okay.
For almost half the amount of time in New 52, she was depicted as a vampire.
All right. Okay. Good to know then. So I'm ready to kick us off, and we got a full-page splash here saying, "I have to kill my sister." And you see that's Red Alice, and is Batwoman's sister, and she's poised there on a gargoyle in true Batman style. And then she says, it's the irony of it doesn't describe this turn. I don't want to give up on her because she never gave up on me. And we see the memory of those two reuniting after she had been found, years ago. But she goes on to say, "Damn it, Kate, where are you?" And there she is, because she's never subtle, as she says. She's flying right over the moon, making the impression. And Red Alice is wondering where she's going. So she kind of fires a shot up into the air. We cut over to Maggie Sawyer, and she's talking to Harvey Bullock, and they're outside smoking outside of the police station. And they're talking about some concerns they have when all of a sudden they see Batwoman come in with a whole swarm of bats, and Maggie says to get down. And Batwoman lands, and she grabs Maggie, and she tells her it's time to die. And as she flies up with Maggie, Maggie's saying, "Kate, is that you?" And Batwoman says, "You have no idea who I am." And then she realizes she's just had enough of her, and she just lets her go while they're flying up in the sky. So Red Alice views this. She only has one chance to get at this, so she knows she has to make it count. She's able to swing over and catch her, which upsets Batwoman. And they start to fall, too, because Batwoman snaps the cord that they were holding on to. So they're going on to Plan B, which involves Red Alice firing a weapon which puts like a little... It attaches to Batgirl's cape. So they're essentially using, Batwoman's cape. So they're using Batwoman essentially to keep them upright as they try to make as soft of a landing as they can. They wonder where she is once they hit ground, and Batwoman tells them, "I am right here." And so Red Alice is trying to tap into Kate, into her memories. Do you remember Rory? And then she throws this piece of cloth, which is actually a piece of cloth that came from Ragman, Rory. And for a moment, it wraps vampire Batwoman in the face. And you see some flashbacks there to Batwoman and Ragman fighting and her defeating him. And Red Alice is saying, "Look, let me talk to you. Let me help." And her reply is, "Bitch." And they start to attack each other. And Batwoman says, "I liked you better when you were dead." And she says, "Funny, I liked you better when you were alive." And Red Alice is dropped again. And we see where she's at right now is Jason Blood. And he's starting to say those words that will give him to the form of Etrigan, the demon. But before he can finish, Batwoman essentially bites him and severs a cord and kills him. Clayface witnesses and he's like, "He was your friend." And she's like, "I have no friends." And then she takes the demon fire that she got from biting Jason Blood as he was turning into Etrigan and then unleashes it on Clayface, hardening his clay into stone, and then starts to kick it so he disintegrates essentially. And Red Alice realizes that she's not even slowing her down. She needs some breathing room badly. Batwoman is saying, your bag of tricks is really running out. She unleashes some fire on her. And Red Alice knows that she's got to stop pulling her punches. She's doing it because it's her sister. All of these people's deaths were for nothing if she doesn't stop Batwoman. And then Batwoman commands her children, aka the Bats, to take her. And you hear all the screeching coming in. And Red Alice has a device that she flips that starts to emit like a high-pitched sonic sound, which apparently does work because it disturbs the bats as well as Batwoman. And Batwoman is unable to maintain her flying course and she crashes into a building. Red Alice gets out a weapon and she's able to shoot this net that pins Batwoman up against a wall. And so she has her trapped finally. And she's thinking, so I guess this is it. And then she flashes back to some childhood memories that the two of them had together playing with some puppies. And Red Alice says, if there's any other way, I would do it, but we had just found each other again. And then you invited me to our family business. Our adventures were just our beginning. Then they show essentially the team that she was working with. It was Batwoman, Red Alice, Ragman, Clayface, and Gargoyle. And then all of a sudden, not speaking in her demonic tone, in her vampire tone, she's speaking just as Kate. She's like, "Alice, Elizabeth, please." She's like, "Oh my God, it's Katie. Let me out of this. It burns. I want to get better. I need you to help me." And Red Alice is like, "Is it really you?" And she's like, "Yes, I wasn't in control. Why did I do these horrible things? You know what it's like, all the awful things you did, but it wasn't really you, was it?" And Red Alice is thinking in her mind, well, actually it was. And she's like, "I'm going to spend the rest of my life trying to make up for those things that I did." And Batwoman says, "I can atone. I can be me again. You just got to let me out of here." So Red Alice gives in, says, "I'll do the escape, but there's one thing you should know." And then all of a sudden she reverts back into, the vampire state. And she's like, "And what is that, sentimental fool?" And as she goes to hug her, "You're not the only one who can fake an emotion." And then you see that chuck right there. And Batwoman gasps and she's like, "What have you done?" And what she did was she struck her through the heart with a stake. And she watches, Red Alice watches her sister, Batwoman, the vampire, slowly just disintegrate into nothing. And she says, "Goodbye, Kate."
Wow.
Pretty intense story.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, Batwoman was really good in New 52.
Yeah.
Who did the art on this one? I don't recall. Art was Jason Masters.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever heard of him.
Yeah, I'm not as familiar either.
Cover art by Rafael Albuquerque.
Okay.
Is that how I say his name? Yeah, awesome story. Let me pop mine on here. So quick side note. So I did Superman, New 52, Futures End. Superman is gone. He's disappeared in this universe, or in this timeline, I should say. So crime got crazy, and they're like, "Listen, we need a Superman. Like, this is getting outrageous. People are starting to figure it out." So there's only one person that could really assume the mantle of Superman slightly, and that was Shazam, Billy Batson. So I want to do all pages. Yep, there we go. So again, Excuse me. So once again, it's 5 years from now, we're in Metropolis. A couple of dudes checking out some ladies here, and this bad guy comes in and he throws a couple of guys in front of the train, and it's just bad news. But Superman is Superman, and he manages to save everybody and assist the fire department in putting out the fire. And everyone's like, Superman, thank you, you're a hero. Like, holy cow, I can't believe you did that. So we finally cut to Lois Lane, and then it's tough to explain here. Lois Lane, in this particular iteration, was not nice to Billy Batson. She put out that Shazam was Billy Batson.
She outed him.
She outed him on the news, doxed him, and everything. And everyone was like, "Whoa, Lois, what the heck are you doing?" So, but anyway, so she's about to do it again. She's about to out, quote unquote, Superman as being Shazam because Clark Kent Superman is missing. Billy goes over to her house and was like, "Hey, listen, like, what are you doing? You can't do this. Innocent lives are at stake. People are going to come after us. People are going to come after you. People are going to come after innocent people. They're going to know who I am. They're going to know what my weaknesses are and everything." But Lois Lane, in my opinion, kind of gives him this really lame attempt at, be your own person speech. You don't have to be Superman. But we find out, I mean, we'll never find out in this short amount of time that we have, but several issues after this, it turns out that Lois was mad at Billy for assuming the mantle of Superman because that's, is her husband. Like, you can't be him. Like, nobody can be him. Only he can be him. So Shazam's like, "Listen, I can do everything that Superman could do, plus a couple extra things. Where Superman is his, weakness is magic. Magic is nothing for me." And Billy was telling her the story about how the time Billy was fighting Black Adam and Superman showed up, and just having Superman around you in a mission, it's just like it gives you the confidence, and that's something that we're all going to miss. But during that time where Superman came to save him, he was kind of stern, but he was glad that Superman gave him that talking to because he didn't have a dad, he didn't have parents. Well, he's adopted parents, but whatever. But we cut back to Lois and Billy finally made their way up to the roof, and it's like, because of what Superman did for me and how I felt just by having him around, I want to help other people in Metropolis. So this is my version of giving back. I want to help those in need and feel that hope. So as that's happening, another train incident is occurring where Ibach is throwing trains, trying to get Superman's attention, but he's kind of in the know. He says, "You're not Superman. Superman doesn't wear a helmet." So they clash. Superman says, "Oh yeah, like I can do this and check it out." He chucks a guy in a low orbit. He's like, "Can Superman do that?" And he said, "Absolutely." But during the scuffle, the helmet breaks, revealing underneath the helmet that it is indeed not Superman. And it is indeed Shazam. So Shazam is revealed at the end of the issue to the world at this point for being Superman. But little do they know that as a feel-good moment that it is now, it actually complicates things a lot in the future because now the whole world knows that Superman is gone. And nobody knows where he is. So, and that's where we leave off. But yeah. Good story.
Yeah, sounds good. So, thinking about your story and even the one that I presented, thoughts, comments, opinions, grades.
4 out of 5 for me. This one was a great story. And if you think about it, like if Superman were to disappear, who in the DC lineup could honestly do as good a job at being Superman? I could only think of two characters: Shazam or Martian Manhunter. That's it.
See that?
But it would be a lot harder for Martian Manhunter to be Superman because of his weakness to fire.
Yes.
Where Billy does not have really a weakness except to other magic. So I think it would be Shazam. Martian Man has more likely to encounter fire personally than Superman.
Yeah.
But yeah, 4 out of 5 for me. I really enjoy it. These books are really undervalued in my opinion.
Yeah, I can see that. I enjoyed my story a lot too. I thought yours was good too. Mine, I just, when I was watching mine, I thought, why couldn't this have been a multi-arc episode of the Batwoman TV show? I really enjoyed it that much.
Because the book was awesome and the TV show
wasn't.
Was not.
Okay, fair enough. So I'm going to do 4 out of 5 myself on that too. And just it was fun to revisit. This wasn't one of those stories like off the top of my head that like when you mentioned it, I went, oh yes, excellent. But going back, and I had never read the Batwoman one until tonight, I was like, that is a good read. And that is something I enjoyed.
See, people gave New 52 and especially Future's End a bad rap. And now that we looking at the current state of DC Comics, like I gotta remind people, like, what I tell you, it wasn't that bad.
So my question is, because, and I know I have the book, I just don't have access to it. I haven't read it yet. If Superman's gone, what did they do in the Future's End Superman Wonder Woman issue then? Because they were in a relationship at that time.
I haven't read it. I haven't the slightest idea, but in the New 52 Future's End actual storyline and run, Superman does return.
Okay.
So I'm not sure where this all fits in, but he does come back.
Okay.
And so does John Constantine. He was missing too, so they both come back, which is pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, that was a fun read.
Yeah, it was fun. New 52 Future's End is got a lot of sentimental value for me. It's because I just came off of active duty and I was really getting back into collecting again, and I got really into it. Like Future's End Day 0 or Issue 0 came out, and it took off for me after that. So this was an important milestone for me personally in my collection. So
very nice.
I love it. I always will. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Agreed. Yeah, magic. Yeah.
Awesome. So I guess I'll kind of jump back to the news portion here. And by the way, if anyone in the chat has anything that you want to talk about, we're gonna have a little bit of extra time in tonight's show because we're gonna go to about the hour mark tonight. But Paul did mention too. I know that he had a role. He was gonna catch the rest of the rewind. He mentioned to bring up the great JSA books for October, and I definitely should have during the news portion. But there are 3 new October solicitations. Wesley Dodds, the Sandman, Jay Garrick, the Flash, and Alan Scott, the Green Lantern, all have number 1s coming in the month of October, which sounds pretty cool to have some solo JSA stories going on. That's incidentally, cool. For October, since I'm looking at those solicitations as well, there will be a comic that's going to join the dots between the Aquaman movies coming out in October. So from Aquaman 1 to the upcoming Aquaman 2. And then Batman's ancient enemy of Gotham War, Ra's al Ghul, will have a book coming out in October as well.
They need to do the One Bad Day storyline for other characters too.
They do. I actually think this might surprise you. I think Flash would be the great choice for the next round. Because he has such a good... They really developed his rogues so well. A Superman one would be great. The Wonder Woman one, they've fallen into this rut that all they want to do is the God stuff. Which some of that's okay, but after a while, I'm like... I'm sitting here going, can I have the Angle Man back?
Well, I mean, I would stick with who her most popular villains are. I would like to see Circe in there somewhere.
Cersei, Cheetah. I mean, we've had some Cheetah appearances, but she hasn't. She's very tame. She's an indoor cat now.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, Circe, that big magic
Yeah,
aspect of
and
it, I think it'd be fun.
yeah, I think that would be good too. But I think it would be great if they would expand those into other characters as well.
Yeah, count me in. DC, hey man, easy money,
Yeah.
for sure. Pretty much anything Black Label, I think, is a good idea. I think the best character that's being neglected in the Black Label is the Spectre,
Oh yeah.
because
See
he's
that.
violent. He's very
Hmm.
violent, and it fits.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask a question to you and the chat. Okay, so you died, okay, and you got to heaven,
Hmm.
and Peter at the pearly gates, he's like, listen, oh, Ryan, okay, so you've been given an option. Like, I'm going to welcome you into the kingdom of heaven, or for 10 years, you can go back down to earth and be the new Spectre. But after 10 years, you got to come back, then you can go to heaven, blah, blah, blah. So, what do
I
you
know, but
take? And the chat,
I'm there already. Open the doors. Let me in.
let you in? No,
Yep.
wait, man. I'm going back to be the Spectre.
Well, good. You
Heck
can do
yeah.
that. Not me. I'm
That
ready.
sounds like fun.
I've paid my dues already here.
Yeah, but it would be kind of fun to just, be the Spectre for a while. Go sink some North Korean warships for fun, stuff like that. So that's the question for the chat. Do you want to go in heaven right
You want to be
away
a
or
spec.
spend some time and be, the Spectre on Earth? Oh, Super Russ. What's up, buddy? There did not think I'll go to heaven. Okay. Spectre, do not.
And hello to Super Russ officially.
Hey, that's okay. As long as you're there, hey, cool. But go ahead.
My question for you was in a totally different vein.
Okay.
Since Comic Food 2814 has moved into a tiny house, will he only go to tiny theaters to see the Blue Beetle movie?
Probably. Considering all the chairs are for Ewoks.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
He
it's going to be
stubbed
a
his
regular.
toe.
It's going to be like a really big, like, one of those big TVs you see at like Costco that's like 85 inches.
In a tiny house?
Yeah. No. When he goes to the movie theater, like, okay, not in his house. Like, let's say he's going to he lives in a tiny house inside of a tiny community.
Is that a furry community?
It can be. It can be. But yeah, if he goes to a tiny movie theater meant for Ewoks, instead of this giant projector screen, they just have a really big TV screen.
Okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, he's going to be uncomfortable. The screen's going to be too small.
Mm-hmm. He's going to stub his toe.
He's going to stub his toe.
Yeah.
And we're all going to know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Hey, Seeking Superman, how you doing?
You mean Seeking Shazam, because tonight's issue.
Tonight it was Seeking Shazam, yeah.
It was Seeking Shazam as Superman.
Boy, there's a Bronze Age Superman issue that I am definitely going to pick for a future retro review. There's one that it's time to get featured on the show. That's definitely in my mind.
Nice. So one book that we didn't read was Wonder Woman, the 3D linear cover, lentacular cover. But keep in mind, in this part of the story, she is the current God of War.
That's right. I remember that.
And it is signed by Charles Scholl and Tom Rainey, of course.
Nice.
Of course it is. And so is my Superman, my Aquaman, my Green Lantern, my Red Lantern.
You want to do some of those as your book show and talk about your channel?
Yeah, my book show is the one I just read. You can see how Shazam turns into Superman, but it is signed the inside cover by Dan Jurgens and Lee Weeks. Another one here, Aquaman and the Others, also signed by Dan Jurgens. Pretty cool cover. Green Lantern New Guardians, again, signed by Charles Scholl on the inside. Kyle Rayner, White Lantern. And last but not least, Red Lanterns, again, signed by Charles Scholl. Guy Gardner Red, Guy Gardner Blue.
Nice.
I did get all the 3D covers when they came out, so they were a good pickup. Some people didn't care for them. Some people just got like the regular cover, the non-3D cover, but I like the 3D covers. I'm a sucker for a nice cover.
Yeah,
but
the lenticulars.
Lenticulars, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But coming up on my channel, lots of stuff coming out, a lot of shorts. I'm going to make a couple of shorts showing off the rest of the collection of 3D covers just because I think they're cool and I think people might want to check them out. So, but Baltimore Comic Con is coming up. I got a con coming up next week.
Nice.
Next Saturday. So,
which one is next Saturday?
Harrisburg Comic Con.
Some good guests coming?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Don't even get me started down that rabbit hole. All I can say is I'm extremely disappointed. I'm only going for back issues now, and that's it. So we'll see. But that's it. Oh yeah, Khan versus JLA versus Godzilla and Khan. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get that one. I love Godzilla. I love King Kong. I love the Justice League. It's match made in heaven for me.
Nice. My channel, let's talk about what I've done already, okay? So on my channel, we have the back issue of the week short that came out like it does every Monday morning. So this past week's is already up there. Did a comic book editions video where I did an AOK/trade with Tim the Comic Collector. And that was fun. So he said some awesome stuff, one of which I'm going to show as my book show in just a moment. So that's already on my channel. What's coming up tomorrow, my back issue of the week short, is going to tie into an actress who has a birthday this upcoming week, who took a DC Comics character and made them pretty friggin' memorable. And no, it's not Wonder Woman. So that's my back issue of the week short that will drop tomorrow morning. I have a comic book editions video coming out on Tuesday. It's called What Did I Buy for $20? And it's a haul of books that I got from Nucadia, actually, when they had their Prime Day deal last month. So I gave me a $20 budget, and I actually think I did pretty good considering I'm only spending $20. So I'm sharing that with you in Tuesday's video. As for my book show, this is one of the books that was A-OK to me by Tim the Comic Collector. And I was so excited to get this one because I've wanted this for such a long time. It's the first appearance of Dawnstar. And it's Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes 226. So Tim had upgraded his copy and sent me his original copy, which I'm very happy to have because I had no copy. And I just think that's just such a cool cover. And she's such a cool character anyway. So thank you, Tim, for that and so many awesome things that you sent and traded with me too. He did a video as well on his channel, and he seemed happy with what I sent, and I was ecstatic with what he sent. So
awesome.
There's links to all of the fanboys in the description to this video. So if you're not subbed to them, make sure to sub them up. And of course, sub everyone up within the chat as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got about a good 5 minutes left. If anyone has any more questions or anything they want to talk about before we wrap up this week's show. Next week, it's Blue Beetle themed retro review to tie into the movie. I'm actually pretty excited about that because I picked a Blue Beetle story, a Reyes story too, that I've never read before with a villain that I really like.
And Tim said he was actually going to eat a blue beetle on the show.
Oh, that's going to be
if
very
enough
exciting.
People showed up.
Now, is he going to salt that or just unsalted?
Dealer's choice. I have no idea.
Okay.
We'll let him pick. I'd go with the hot sauce, just so I don't have to taste it. But whatever.
Yeah.
So my question for the community is: I have a dilemma, and I need everybody's help.
Okay.
Scott Snyder is coming,
mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna get one book signed, and I don't know what to sign.
Okay.
I have so much Scott Snyder
already
signed.
I already know the answer to this.
Which one? What do you think?
That hardcover book that you're getting all the signatures on, the encyclopedia book.
Ah, shoot, I forgot about that.
And now the dynamics are changing again.
Yeah, and I needed to sign my Batman cover because he did a whole bunch of Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot.
But if you get the DC book, you got to get 2 signatures because you're doing 2 copies of it.
Yeah, I'm getting 2, one for each of my kids. So it's like, man. Maybe I don't need your help.
Leave it to me to complicate it some more.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Here, I was thinking you build me a bridge, but you just made the river wider.
That I did. I'm good at that.
That's okay. Everyone's got a talent. Man, dang it. That puts a pickle in my plans. But
see, I didn't even have to think about it. I'm like, no, that's your answer. That's your...
I'm sure I would have figured it out anyway, but like while I'm at the con in line, I'm like, man, I can't get him to sign this book. Mm-hmm. Close your eyes and pick a random book. I have a lot of him signed already. This one. This came from his personal collection. So if I don't get him to sign anything, I'm definitely not going to be sad. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I got to do something. But dang it, man. He's put a wrinkle in my brain. Shoot.
How many signatures do you have on that book so far?
Which one? The hardcover books? Each one only has like 4 or 5. Okay. I just started that one.
Yeah, I know you did.
But my Batman blank book has quite a few. So I'm probably going to do just those 3 books, to be honest with you, because his signature is pretty expensive. Let me rephrase that. His signature is free, but the people at comicsketchart.com charge you $10 for one, $20 for the second, and $30 for the third.
I saw that they're involved with the signing. Jorge Jimenez is coming to New York Comic Con, but he's linked up with them. And, he doesn't live in North America. He is so good. And I was all like, oh, that would be so awesome. And then I saw they were involved, and I'm like,
It's funny because people like Peter Tomasi used to be $1 a signature. I remember one year he's $1. Mm-hmm. The next year he's linked up with comicsketchart.com. Now it's $5 for the first one, mm-hmm. $10 for the second one. It's like, geez, you guys are killing me. And they don't let you sit there and BS.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's you don't get to have a moment with them.
Yeah, I want to talk shop with you for 5 seconds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nope. Keep it moving.
Yep.
Annoying. Dang you, comic sketch art people.
So we're within our last minute of today's show. Tony, what's going on this week for you? Any plans?
I'm seeing Blue Beetle on Friday.
Are you going to have popcorn, soda, and nachos?
I'm probably going to eat the popcorn before the trailers stop. I'm going to need to get a refill before the movie starts. And I'm going to wear my Blue Beetle socks I just picked up today.
Those look like Black Panther.
I know, but they say Blue Beetle.
Did you think it looked like Black Panther before I said that?
I did. Okay,
and then I looked. It wasn't just me.
Because it was a DC and like a Marvel area.
Uh-huh.
And I grabbed it and it's like Blue Beetle. And I was like, wait a minute. This is Black Panther, but it says Blue Beetle.
Will you show the socks next weekend?
I'll wear them. I'll do you one better. I'll wear them.
Okay. So join us for the next Fanboys Live and the Retro Review featuring Tony's Blue Beetle socks a Blue Beetle themed retro review next week. And if you're watching on the rewind for today, thanks for joining us. If you're in the live chat, we always appreciate you as well. Have a fantastic rest of your day and a great week. Bye.